Welcome to our deep dive into Rich Dad, Poor Dad
Oh, yeah?
by Robert Kiyosaki.
Hmm.
This book, I mean, it's been super popular,
Yeah,
but it's also, sparked a lot of debates.
it have.
So today we're going to try to extract the key takeaways
Okay,
and see how you can actually apply them to your own financial journey.
cool.
Whether you're just starting out or you're already a seasoned investor, I think Kiyosaki offers some
Yeah,
really unique perspectives
he does.
and can challenge conventional wisdom.
Absolutely. And I think that's part of the reason why it's been so popular and so debated, right?
Yeah.
It's because he's really challenging some of those fundamental ideas
Yeah.
about money and wealth.
Yeah, the core of the book is built around this idea
Hmm.
of two contrasting mindsets toward money.
Yeah,
And they're represented by Rich Dad and Poor Dad.
exactly. And I think it's important to remember
Yeah.
those aren't meant to be literal fathers, right?
Yeah.
It's more about representing these two
Yes.
different ways of thinking about
Yeah.
money, about risk,
Right.
about even home ownership, something as common as that.
Yeah, there's a great anecdote in the book
Oh, yeah.
where young Kiyosaki, he asks both of his dads for advice
Hmm.
about buying a house.
Yeah.
And they give him completely opposite advice.
Yeah, one of them sees it as a liability,
Right?
a potential drain on your resources,
Right.
and the other one views it as,
Yeah.
the classic American dream investment.
Right.
And so that difference in perspective right there,
Yeah.
I think that kind of highlights that core conflict
Yeah.
that's at the heart of the book.
Yeah. And that leads us to one of Rich Dad's key principles, which is work to learn, not just for money.
Exactly.
And there's this story where 9-year-old Kiyosaki,
Yeah.
he's working for Rich Dad,
Uh-huh.
and he's only getting paid 10 cents an hour.
Yeah.
And he feels really exploited
Right.
until Rich Dad reveals the lesson.
It was all orchestrated, right?
Right.
To kind of teach him
Yeah.
that the real value wasn't the 10 cents an hour,
Right.
but the skills that he was developing in the process.
Yeah. Think about a time when you felt really undervalued at work.
Oh, yeah.
Could there be a hidden lesson there?
Absolutely.
Could it be pushing you to develop skills
Mm-hmm.
that could actually have greater long-term value?
Totally. I mean, it really makes you think
Yeah.
about all those times you felt like, man, I'm not being paid enough,
Right.
but maybe there's something more there
Yeah.
you can be learning.
Yeah, it's a classic Rich Dad lesson.
Totally.
Yeah, and
And it goes right into the next big lesson, which is this idea of
Right.
assets versus liabilities.
Yeah, and this is where I think Rich Dad really simplifies things brilliantly
Yeah.
by focusing on cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
He defines assets as things that put money in your pocket
Right.
and liabilities as things that take money out.
Exactly.
And what's really important is that it's not about the thing itself. It's about the cash flow that it generates.
It's a cash flow.
So, for example, he uses a house.
Yeah, which a lot of people think of as an asset.
Right.
But he's like,
Yeah.
hold on a second.
Yeah.
If you're constantly pouring money into your mortgage
Right.
and your repairs and
Yeah.
your property taxes,
Yeah.
is it really an asset or is it actually acting more like a liability?
Right. It's draining your cash flow
Exactly.
instead of adding to it.
Yeah, like a leaky faucet in your bank account almost.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
Right.
And he even uses these simple diagrams in the book
He does.
to illustrate the different cash flow patterns for
Yeah.
the rich, the poor, and
Yeah.
the middle class.
Yeah, and it's so eye-opening to see it visually like that,
Mhm.
just the way the money's flowing in different
Right.
directions.
Yeah, it really makes you think about how your money is truly working for you
Totally,
or against you.
for sure.
And this brings us to another crucial lesson from the book,
Okay.
which is the idea of minding your own business.
Mm.
And he tells the story of Ray Kroc,
Oh, yeah.
the founder of McDonald's,
Uh-huh.
who famously said that his true business wasn't burgers,
Mm-hmm.
it was real estate.
It was the land.
Yeah, specifically the land under each franchise. So he was
Yeah.
building this asset base
Right.
that would generate income for him,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of how the burger business itself was doing.
That's brilliant, right?
It's pretty amazing.
It's like he's playing a
Yeah.
different game
It really is.
altogether.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, what's your real estate?
Yeah.
What assets could you potentially build
Yeah.
that could generate income for you even when you're not actively working?
Yeah, that's a powerful question.
Right.
It is.
And he even goes a step
Yeah,
further
it is.
and says that the rich invent money.
Mm-hmm.
And just to be clear, he's not talking about counterfeiting.
No. He's talking about seeing the opportunities that
Right.
other people miss,
Yeah.
and then using leverage
Right.
to your advantage.
And he illustrates this with an anecdote where he buys this $20,000 house, fixes it up a little bit, and flips it for a profit,
Yeah,
like right away.
just like that.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a genius to do this.
Right, and that's what's so amazing about it.
Right.
You don't have to be a genius to spot these opportunities.
It's just being observant
Yeah.
and being willing to take action
Right.
when you see something that other people are overlooking.
It's more about being observant and recognizing those
Yeah.
overlooked kind of golden nuggets
The gold nuggets.
that might be right in your backyard.
Yeah, and we all have that potential.
We do. We all have that potential.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't shy away from the fact that
No.
even when people understand these principles, there are these mental obstacles that prevent them from taking action.
Absolutely. I mean, we all face those, right?
We do. We all do.
The fears, the doubts.
Yeah, he's talking about fear, cynicism, laziness, all these mental blocks that we all face at some point.
At some point or another, yeah.
And he's particularly adamant about mastering fear.
Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
And he even...
he had that great analogy with the Alamo.
He does.
Right? Remember the Alamo? It's like this idea of taking that fear and instead of being paralyzed by it, using it as fuel to move forward, to take action.
Yeah, turning I can't into how can I?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't just present the problem.
Yeah.
He offers solutions, right?
Solutions.
He gives you 10 to-dos for building your financial IQ.
Absolutely.
And he really emphasizes the importance of continuous learning.
Finding mentors and taking action.
And most importantly, taking action.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you can read all the books.
Right.
You can go to all the seminars.
Yeah.
But if you don't take action, nothing's going to change.
You're not going to see any results.
You're not going to see any results.
And he encourages readers to start small, maybe with a simple investment or playing his cash flow game to kind of practice financial decision-making in a safe environment.
Yeah, it's a great way to learn
Right.
and to make mistakes without actually risking real money.
He even suggests reading a book or taking a class on a financial topic that interests you.
Totally.
The key is to just get the ball rolling.
Just get started.
Yeah.
Just take that first step.
Yeah, that's right.
Because no matter where you are in your journey, it's never too late
that's so true.
to start building that rich dad mindset.
That's so true.
Yeah. Now, before we move on to part 2 of our deep dive, I want you to think about this. What's one fear that's holding you back financially?
Yeah.
How could you remember the Alamo and use that fear to fuel your actions?
Yeah, good question.
We'll be right back with more insights from Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Sounds good.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
We're picking up where we left off, exploring Kiyosaki's insights on building a solid financial foundation. One of the key ideas that Kiyosaki emphasizes is this idea of understanding and mastering cash flow.
Yeah, it's not just about how much you make. It's about how much you keep and how that money is working for you.
Yeah, and he uses this term rat race.
Rat race.
To describe this cycle of working for money, paying bills, and never really getting ahead.
Yeah, just like running on a treadmill.
Right.
You're putting in all this effort, but you're not actually making any progress. Right.
Yeah.
And he points out that this trap, it can ensnare even highly educated, successful people.
It can.
You can be a brilliant doctor, lawyer, engineer.
You could.
But still struggle financially if you lack this financial intelligence.
If you don't understand how money works.
Yeah, he literally says,
this quote,
a person can be highly educated, professionally successful, and financially illiterate.
Ooh.
It's a pretty stark statement.
It is.
But it really underscores the importance of understanding how money works.
How money works.
And that's where I think the distinction between assets and liabilities becomes so crucial.
Absolutely.
He has this view of assets as being like little employees.
I love that analogy.
That are working 24/7 to generate income for you.
They're always working.
They're always working.
Even while you sleep.
Even while you sleep, that's right.
Yeah.
While liabilities are constantly kind of draining your resources.
Draining you, yeah.
It's a really powerful way to reframe how we think about our finances.
Absolutely.
He also goes into the history of taxes a little bit and the role of corporations.
Yeah.
And he kind of reveals how the wealthy often use these systems to their advantage.
Their advantage, yep.
It's like playing the game on a different level.
Yeah, he argues that, taxes were originally intended to punish the rich.
Right.
But the rich have figured out ways to use the tax code to their advantage.
Right. To legally minimize their tax burden.
To legally minimize the taxes.
And corporations play a big part in that.
They do.
He doesn't necessarily go into all the details in setting up a corporation, but he strongly encourages readers to learn about the benefits and protections that they can provide.
Absolutely.
He even shares a story about
forming his first corporation while he was still working at Xerox.
Yeah, it's a great example of, minding your own business.
Yeah.
Even while you have a traditional job.
Exactly.
Right.
He also dives deeper into this concept of inventing money.
He does.
And again, not counterfeiting. Not counterfeiting.
He's talking
about seeing these opportunities that others overlook.
The opportunities and using leverage.
Right. And he has this incredible story about buying a vacant lot for a ridiculously low price.
Yeah, because he spotted something that everyone else missed.
Right. He saw the potential to subdivide the lot.
Exactly.
And he flipped it for a huge profit, practically overnight.
Overnight, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great example of thinking outside the box.
Outside the box.
Not being afraid to seize an opportunity.
Absolutely.
But he also stresses the importance of overcoming these mental obstacles. Yeah, the mental game is huge.
The mental game is huge.
Right.
Yeah, those fears and doubts.
The fears and doubts.
That keep us playing small.
That keep us playing small, yeah.
And he's particularly adamant about mastering fear.
He is. He's got that great quote.
Right.
Failure inspires winners. Failure defeats losers.
Right.
And it's this idea of, not being afraid to fail.
Yeah, reframing failure as a learning opportunity.
As a learning opportunity.
Yeah, turning that I can't into how can I?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He also talks about the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people.
The right people. Yeah.
Not those who drag you down.
Yeah, not the chicken littles.
Yeah, with negativity and doubt.
Always predicting the sky's falling.
Yeah, the chicken littles, he calls them.
The chicken littles. Instead,
find those people who are going to support you, who are going to encourage you, who are going to lift you up. Seek out mentors and advisors.
Mentors and advisors.
Who have already achieved success in the areas you want to grow.
Yeah, people who have been there and done that and can give you that guidance.
Yeah, and he specifically highlights the importance of finding a good broker.
A good broker, yeah.
Someone who genuinely has your best interests at heart.
Yeah.
And is knowledgeable about investments.
Absolutely.
He even suggests interviewing potential brokers.
Interview them?
To assess their own financial literacy.
To see if they actually know what they're talking about.
You want to find someone who's playing the game at a high level.
At a high level, yeah.
Right.
You want to learn from the best.
And is willing to share that knowledge.
Share that knowledge with you.
Yeah. After all, knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. Especially in the realm of finance.
Especially in the realm of finance.
Yeah.
And then he also emphasizes the importance of continuous learning.
Continuous learning, lifelong learning.
Lifelong learning.
Yeah.
He's a big proponent of constantly expanding.
Expanding your financial IQ.
Your financial IQ.
Yeah.
He encourages people to take classes, read books.
Read books.
Attend seminars. Anything that exposes you to new ideas and strategies.
Exposes you to new ideas, new strategies.
Yeah, and he even talks about once you master a particular formula for wealth creation, to then move on.
Move on to a new one.
To learn a new one.
Right. It's about constant evolution and adaptation.
Yeah, constant evolution, constant adaptation.
Yeah.
And he introduces this concept that he calls being an Indian giver.
The Indian giver.
Which might sound counterintuitive.
Right.
But it's really about...
It's about getting something for nothing.
Yeah, the power of strategically getting something for nothing.
Yeah.
And he uses the example of offering a free trial.
A free trial?
Or a bonus to attract customers and then convert them into paying clients.
Right. So it's a way to leverage your resources And maximize your returns.
To overcome fear and develop confidence, he suggests making a lot of offers.
Make a lot of offers.
Whether you're negotiating a business deal or investing in real estate.
Yeah, put yourself out there.
Put yourself out there.
Even if it means facing rejection.
Even if it means facing rejection.
Because you never know.
Yeah.
What opportunities might come your way.
Right. He actually tells a story about buying a condo for a steal.
Yeah.
Simply because he was the only one willing
to put down a cash offer.
Yeah. So sometimes
starts being bold pays off.
Being bold pays off.
Yeah.
Another key principle he emphasizes is the importance of paying yourself first.
Paying yourself first, yes.
This is a fundamental principle of wealth building.
Absolutely.
It's about prioritizing your financial well-being.
Your financial well-being.
Above all else.
Above all else.
Kiyosaki says, if you cannot get control of yourself, do not try to get rich.
Powerful.
It's powerful.
It is.
He's talking about having that discipline to save and invest.
To save and invest.
Even when it feels like there's not enough money to go around.
Not enough to go around.
He suggests automating your savings.
Automate it,
and investments. So you're not even tempted.
So you don't even have to think about it.
To spend that money.
Yeah.
He even shares a story about paying himself first. Even when his accountant warned him about the potential consequences. It's about having that conviction.
I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I'm going to do this.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Then he talks about this idea of finding heroes. And by heroes, he means...
people who inspire you.
Right, people who inspire...
to achieve your financial dreams.
To achieve your financial dreams.
Yeah.
He suggests... Studying the habits and mindsets.
The mindset
of successful investors.
Maybe
Warren Buffett.
Or Donald Trump.
Yeah, people who have achieved massive success.
It's about learning from their strategies and adapting them. To your own unique situation. And it's also helpful to have these role models who make success.
Who make it seem attainable. Right.
It's like, if they can do it, I can do it too.
If they can do it, I can do it.
And then he also stresses the importance of teaching.
Because...
because when you teach, you reinforce your own learning.
Right. Teach and you shall receive.
Teach and you shall receive. That's a great quote.
He encourages readers to share their financial knowledge with others to create this ripple effect.
A ripple effect.
Of financial literacy. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
It is. It is.
And that leads us to the final part of our deep dive.
All right.
Where we'll explore Kiyosaki's perspective on finding your path in life.
Yeah.
And how to align your financial goals with your passion.
With your passions, yeah.
To create a truly fulfilling journey.
All right, I'm excited to dive into that.
Stay with us. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
From understanding assets and liabilities to mastering cash flow and overcoming fear.
Yep.
Now we're going to explore kind of a more philosophical aspect of Kiyosaki's teachings. This idea of finding your path in life. And in this section of the book, Kiyosaki kind of goes beyond the nuts and bolts of finance.
He does.
And he really tackles this question of what do you want to be when you grow up?
A big question.
It's a big question.
It is.
But it's deeper than just choosing a career path.
Right. It's about finding your purpose.
Right. It's about discovering your true purpose. That thing that lights you up and gives your life meaning.
Yeah, that thing that gets you out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. And he actually revisits the contrasting perspectives of his two dads to illustrate this point.
Of course, yeah.
His poor dad, focused on job security, encouraged him to pursue a traditional career as a high-paid employee or professional.
Like a doctor or a lawyer.
Right.
Right.
But Rich Dad, on the other hand, he encouraged entrepreneurship, business building, investing.
A road less traveled.
Yeah, the road less traveled.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that Kiyosaki admits he didn't have it all figured out right away.
And
he talks about feeling lost after leaving the Marine Corps, knowing what he didn't want, but struggling to find his true calling. And he shares this pivotal moment in his journey where he attended this personal development seminar in 1973.
Interesting.
It wasn't a typical financial education course,
Right.
but it really sparked this passion in him for learning and self-discovery.
It opened his mind to new possibilities.
It did. It opened his mind to new possibilities.
Yeah.
And that experience led him to explore various paths, including real estate investing, entrepreneurship, which eventually led him, it all kind of came together to the principles that he outlines in Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
It did.
He even talks about the importance of spiritual education.
Yeah, he talks about
finding that inner compass to guide you.
Yeah. He has this great quote where he says, it seems that our paths in life are not found in our minds. Our path in life is to find out what is in our hearts.
It's powerful.
It's beautiful.
It really is. Yeah. But it makes you wonder why. Is finding your path so crucial to financial success?
Why is that so important?
And he illustrates this with a story about a friend who was very successful financially, but absolutely miserable in his work.
Oh, yeah.
Like trapped in a golden cage almost.
Trapped in a golden cage.
He had the wealth, but he lacked the fulfillment. It's almost a cautionary tale.
It is.
About the dangers of chasing money without considering your passions.
Without considering what really lights you up.
Yeah. And he argues that a lot of people feel stuck in jobs they hate, going through the motions.
Going through the motions, yeah.
But feeling like something is missing.
Yeah, like there's a void.
Yeah, and they might even be afraid.
They might even be afraid.
They might be afraid to make a change.
To make a change.
Right.
They could be trapped by what he called
handcuffs.
Golden handcuffs.
Yeah.
You know, good salary and benefits.
Yeah, you get comfortable.
But ultimately, masking unfulfilling work.
Yeah, you're not doing what you love.
And this is where he challenges conventional education.
He does.
He suggests that it doesn't always equip people to find their true path.
To find their path.
It often prepares them for jobs.
Or a job.
Not for a life of purpose and passion.
Not for a life of purpose and passion.
It's a
big distinction.
It is a big distinction.
Yeah.
So how does Kiyosaki suggest?
Yeah, how do we go about finding our path?
We go about finding our path then.
Yeah.
And he emphasizes that it's a journey.
It's a journey.
Not a destination.
Not a destination.
It involves continuous exploration, trying new things, and even being willing to fail.
Right. Embracing failure.
And learn from those experiences.
As a learning opportunity.
That's where his cash flow board game comes in.
Yeah, the cash flow game is a great tool.
He designed it to help people kind of explore different financial paths. In a safe environment.
Yeah.
Allowing them to make mistakes. And learn without risking real money. He also introduces this concept of finding your quadrant.
Yeah.
He categorizes work into 4 quadrants: employees, self-employed, business owners, and investors.
Right.
And he says figuring out which quadrant you belong to and where you'd like to be,
where you want to be,
can help you chart your course.
Absolutely.
So what does all this mean for you, the listener?
That's the takeaway here.
What's the key takeaway from all of this?
Yeah.
Kiyosaki's message is clear.
It's never too late.
It's not too late to find your path. To align your passions with your financial goals. He encourages you to trust your intuition.
Trust your gut.
Listen to your heart. And take action. And that might mean exploring possibilities.
All right. That seem unconventional.
Yeah.
Or stepping outside of your comfort zone. It's about embracing the journey. And trusting the process. He also stresses the importance of surrounding yourself with people who support your dreams.
Find your tribe.
Yeah, find your tribe.
Find those people who are going to support you.
And who will encourage you.
Along the way.
And of course.
And never stop learning.
Never stop learning and growing.
It's
a lifelong pursuit.
It is.
Kiyosaki reminds us that true financial freedom isn't just about accumulating wealth.
It's not just about the money.
It's about having the time and resources. To pursue your passion. And live a life. Filled with meaning and purpose.
Yeah.
As we wrap up this deep dive into Rich Dad, Poor Dad, we want to leave you with this question.
Right.
What is your path?
Yeah. What is it that you're passionate about?
What are you passionate about?
What gets you excited?
How can you align your financial goals with your dreams?
With your dreams.
To create a truly fulfilling life.
Yeah, that's the big question.
Take some time to reflect on these questions.
Reflect on those questions.
Remember, the journey starts with a single step.
It does.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Absolutely.
Into Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Mm-hmm.
We hope you found it insightful and inspiring.
Yeah, we hope you got a lot out of it.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Keep learning.
Keep growing.
Keep growing.
And keep striving to create the life you truly desire.
That's it.